Hey, welcome back, guys. We're back with a Fatz Chats Podcast episode. We're here with Darren. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Cheers for having me on again.
Yeah, it's good. A different podcast this time.
Yeah.
Last time we was with one of my clients' podcast, fitness, health, a little bit of motivation, mindset. This time we'll deep dive into more mindset, more background, more of who you are and where you're from. If you could just give us a little breakdown of you.
Yeah, so I'm Darren. I'm owner of Spearhead Fitness. Obviously we spoke last week. I've got a fitness company, do personal training, online coaching, boot camps, etc. That has followed on from a previous career in the military. So I served 11 years in the Royal Marines, which I massively have taken like the mindset sort of focus of that into my coaching now for civilian clients. My last 3 years as a commando, I took recruits through training. Wow. So I was sort of the horrible bastard who took them through training. But with that, I've had both sides of the wheel there. So I've gone through that training myself. I know what it's like to be mentally broken down and built up. But then I've switched sides and I've been that person to do that. So I took all of those qualities into my coaching now. In a nicer way. Yeah, in a nice manner. So yeah, that's what I do now. I've got that company. We talk about mindset. I do a lot with mental health, partly because I suffer with my own.
Understandable with the background.
Yeah, and two, just I think that goes hand in hand with like physical health goes hand in hand with mental health. Yeah,
definitely. What's your views on mental health just being overdiagnosed and overprescribed medication?
What is in life? I think at the minute it's a tough one because that's probably a really tough question. That I've got a personal belief that it's cool to have mental health nowadays. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think like mental health is a massive issue. Yeah. And it's so hard for sort of companies or charities to sort of diagnose because you get people maybe, I don't know, miss a night out or something minor and they go, I've got mental health today. It's sort of like, I've gone down. It's almost like a common cold. I've gone down with a bit of
I do find it's more of a cop-out for a lot of people.
Yeah, so I can see where it's hard for people to diagnose it because people generally do suffer with mental health big time. And I think it's just on an individual basis, and I think it's a tough one.
See, my viewpoints, it was, again, very similar. It's a tough one, but it's massively, in my own personal viewpoint, it's massively overprescribed. People are just given tablets. They're not given a change of lifestyle, some guidance, some therapy, some fitness regime. They're none of that. It's just take these pills, you'll be okay. Not knowing that you'll be dependent on these anyway. Yeah. And then the flip side is it's overdiagnosed because a lot of people choose to have the mental health because that's their cop out. They say, I don't have to do that because I've got this. I don't have to do that because I've got that. Yeah. You can't fire me from work for taking this much time off because I've got this mental health. And employees have got their hands tied, their friends have got their hands tied, and people have got this excuse to get out of a lot of things, which takes away from the people who are actually suffering. People who are actually on the edge of suicide. People who are actually on the edge of nervous breakdown. And I think that's heartbreaking in a way, whether these people are doing it just to use it as an excuse or doing it because they're actually confused and feel like they do have mental health.
Yeah, I think with that there's a massive lack of understanding around it still. It's spoke about quite a lot now, like mental health. You see it everywhere, but there's no like tuition or understanding really. But so I think people do jump on it, and like I've been through processes where I've reached out for help, and you almost have to go through a vetting process, which I get they've got to do, but it's to kind of determine whether you are actually suffering with mental health or not. And I think that is purely probably down to the fact that they probably get so many people like, I can't be asked with work today. I fancy a bit of mental health today, but then
I'm depressed this week.
But that's what I mean. But then also you can't judge someone and go, no, you've not, because you don't know what they've got going on behind doors. It's probably one of the trickiest subjects, which is why it's still not been nailed down yet.
We all fight demons that nobody knows anything about.
100%.
We all fight battles behind closed doors that nobody ever sees, and I think that's one of the hardest things in life, especially for geezers, because we don't speak out. And you see a lot of guys, they're male, they're macho, they're they're brave men, they put on that smile, they're geezers down the pub, and then they're not here no more. And that's one of the hardest things. Coming from your background, Marines, tough, some of the toughest geezers in the world. Do you see a lot of people suffering from mental health and taking their life and experiences around that?
Like big time. I think you serve in the military, probably everyone's suffers with something whether it's PTSD, stuff at home, and like the suicide in veterans is ridiculous at the minute. I don't know the statistics, it's a stupid amount. So myself and a close friend who I served with, Fozzie, we're doing a fundraiser in September for suicide prevention, purely for the fact in 3 years that we've both left the Marines, between us we've lost 7 lads that we know that we've served with to suicide.
That's diabolical numbers.
That's just between 2 of us in 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's constantly in the news, like another veteran's committed suicide, and that I probably know or served with however many other Marines who know someone else who's committed suicide and that as well. And so you say there, it's like the bravado of like big, tough, strong blokes, and there is that to a sense.
Yeah.
We've been trained to have like an unbelievably strong mindset in specific situations, if you get what I mean. Like
battlefields and
and
high
like
tension.
Sort of dealing with like high stress, high adrenaline situations where so much is going on. Like you train specifically to do those things, like fire weapons, deal with like a lot of sort of high value kit, like medic stuff. But a lot of it, for me, my depression was I couldn't deal with the work-life balance. And so I think, like I said to you last week, no matter how mentally strong I am in sort of very high stress situations, that still doesn't mean I don't suffer when I'm going through a divorce or I've lost a friend to suicide. Like it still hits me the same as it has hit you or anyone else. And that tied in with lads suffering with PTSD, it's a slippery slope for veterans and lads serving, regardless of whether these like tough elite soldiers who train to go kill or fight or do like high stress jobs abroad. Lads will still suffer and ladies will still suffer from the same things.
But with people who've served in the military, served our country, you know, there's got to be, you'd like to think from an outside perspective, a lot more support financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You know, as soon as you come out the forces or as soon as you come out of, you know, the deployment, there should be a massive amount of check-ins, a massive amount of support, a massive, you know, if you do come out, help with new employment, new guidance, new guidelines, whatever you need to do. There should be a lot more, I think, from a military point, no matter where you served or who you are, there should be a lot more support from our government for our military. There's a big falling down there of the government and the military of a whole, I think. Would you say that's failure of the government? I think a bit of everything. I just think I never see it as like I was a name or number. Like, I loved my career. Like I'll do it all over again. But when you leave, you very quickly sort of go, I was a name and number. Wow. Like, that doesn't mean I regret anything at all. It's just like, right, career's done. I suppose we're like anywhere really. Like career's done. Right, off you trot. That's us sort of cutting ties with you. The help is there. Like as I said, I've reached out for help with my mental health, and the help I'm receiving is ridiculous. Like it's so good. But it's taken me reaching out to get it, and it's taken me breaking down completely to then finally reach out. Whereas there needs to be that bit in the middle to stop lads getting in that shit state when they leave. Because when you leave the military, you pretty much put your notice in and you serve another year. That year's specifically there to set you up for leave, and be a civilian. But the only thing I got a day course on how to write a CV. And I think I got a lecture on like if you go to an interview, wear a suit, and it's something you get out of school as well. And then you get like, this is the funding you're entitled to. You get this amount of weeks to go. It's like 5 weeks to go do a course, which ain't a lot. And then off you trot into the unknown. Do you think that would change a lot of people's mind joining the military if they knew at the end they would be left like that? I don't think you're that bothered when you're a young lad. You're there like, I want to, for whatever reason you want to join. I want to travel the world, serve my country, be part of a team, like of a brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever. Like you're so sort of like you're not that bothered about I might get injured, I might die, I might be thrown out or whatever reason. Like you're there like for me, I was like I want to sign up, I want to be a Marine. That was it. Like nothing else matters. And you do you're aware whilst you're serving, like you're a name and number. But it doesn't take away like your enjoyment for serving, your pride for serving. But going through that process at the end, you do realise, fuck, there's a massive lack of setting people up to leave. Like going up and doing a
course, like getting 5 weeks to go do a course to potentially be the career for your rest of your life, being told to wear a suit at an interview and how to write a CV, it don't quite cut it. There's no psychological help to go, right, when you leave, these are the things that might go wrong. Your marriage might fall apart. You might struggle adjusting to civilian life.
Yeah.
Because for me and everyone serving, my normality was running around with weapons, jumping out of helicopters, deploying abroad for months out of the year, like that high stress, but that was my norm. Whereas, imagine, like I say to you, like if I was to take you down to like our training camp for a week, and I put you through like a military program for a week. You know what I mean? That would be so abnormal for you because it's not what you're used to.
No.
That's what it feels like for us when we leave, to kind of come into a civilian setting, just doing like a normal job, like maybe like a normal 9 to 5, just that relaxed pace of life. If that's not normal for us, a lot of people go, oh, it must be nice to...
Most people would break, wouldn't they?
Yeah, like some people go, oh, it must be nice to like have a bit of time to chill out and like know what you're doing and not be always away. And to an extent it's nice, but at the same time it's not normal for us.
So it's not knowing what you're doing, because when you was away you knew what you were doing. You're getting up, you're jumping out of the helicopter, you're going to do this mission, you're going to do this task, and you know what you're doing. And then you've got that weekly with orders, you know, a plan. But then again,
and you constantly are on your feet in the military, but that that's you're normal. Like, you're trained to deal with that. Whereas you come home and I think the biggest thing as well, like for me, I unfortunately went through like a falling down of my marriage when I left. And it was just because, like, no fault of our own, we just didn't get on. Like, we didn't click, and there was a massive, because we'd been sort of separate for all those years, we come back together and it just didn't work. And there was no, like in the military you talk to bury all that. And like you've got stuff going on at home, it's like, right, bury all that, stick that to one side, focus on the task at hand. And again, you're around your brothers, you're around your people, where you come back and you're like, oh, I've had a bit of a shit weekend, or I've got a bit of shit going on at home. You hash it out with your lads. Loads of other lads have probably got the same thing going on, so you're kind of like, oh, this is normal. This is normal that we're having relationship struggles or whatever. And then what happens when you get home? And it might be relationships, it might be financial stress, it might be stress of a different job. Like what happens when all of those things that are very present and you've been taught to bury it all to one side, suddenly crop up, and you're like, fuck, how do I deal with this?
Can't bury it if it's anything
you don't know how to deal with it, because you're like, fuck, like, well, normally I'd shove this to one side and focus on something else, but it's here, present, daily. And that's why so many lads, their heads just go, because they start stressing about other things. Maybe a bit of PTSD for lads then starts creeping up, because then they start thinking about their military service or this, that and the other, and that's when lads get down like a slippery slope. Do
you think that a lot of masculine men, so you talking the Tates, the Stricklands, the what's that, Connor, all these fighters and all these masculine men, they always say, get on with it, pussy, get up and do it, pussy, or the Jocko Williams or the David Goggins, you know, all these masculine men. Do you think that mentality is good for men, or, you know, we need to deal with some of the shit?
I think a bit of both.
I
think a bit of both. Like David Goggins, for example, he's a fucking lunatic. Some people go, he's so mentally strong and stuff like that, but I'm like, but also I don't want to be going running 100 miles from a weekend or a bit of time off. And he's like, oh, stop being a pussy, like
strap up that broken foot and carry on.
I'm like, it's not realistic. Like a lot of these like influencers are famous because it's so unrealistic. And, like again, like the Tates you were saying there, like multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, whatever they are, it's sort of, they've got like a nice lifestyle, do you know what I mean? Like, or they were arrested, as if they didn't get stressed with that. A lot of it's like a bravado that people put on to have that famous status. And I think that's a bad influence as such, because people are seeing these people going, stop being a pussy, like, I'm out here running 100 miles, what are you doing? And it's like, fucking hell, some people just need like a bit of a kick up the arse to get out of bed.
I think it comes back to the reflection of the successful kind. So not the masculine kind like that, but the successful kind. You've got the kind of people who say the only way to be an entrepreneur or millionaire or successful is you have to wake up at 4 a.m, get that cold bath, get that shower, go have D's for breakfast, your black coffee, and by 7 a.m, you've done 100 miles, you've done the gym workout, and you've earned 10 grand. And they kind of glorize this morning routine, which is, again, unrealistic in most cases.
For mental health, and there's a reason why they're famous, as I was saying there. There's a massive reason why they're famous, and that is because they're so over the top. They're these characters that stand out in society, and people go, fucking hell, they're mental. And that's why they've got the following. But
controversial sells, so
yeah, exactly, yeah. But like some people, if you're in a dark space, sometimes all you need is, come on, mate, get out of bed.
Yeah,
just get out of bed and brush your teeth today. Not having some, I think he's a bit of an idiot, because I think it's, as I said, it's bad. Not someone there going, oh, you pussy, if you're not running 100 miles in an evening, and like if you're not training every hour of the day, and like what are you doing today with your life? And it's like, someone might be there, like at the end of like their last tether, ready to take their life and go. They might just need a get out of bed today.
I think we do have to, I agree. We do have to approach different situations with different people. Some people might need that drag out of the bed, ice cold water thrown over their head saying, stop being a fucking pussy. Some people need that. Some people do need, mate, I've got your back. Whatever you need, we'll do it together. And that kind of guidance along the way.
Because there's nothing in between. Like you tend to see like there's these extreme influencers. Or... there's nothing in between there. But so again, if someone's in bed extremely depressed, going, fuck, like I don't want to be here anymore, but the only way I'm going to get through life is if I fucking be like David Goggins. And they're like, there needs to be more influence in, like, it's okay to maybe just survive today. Just survive today. Just get out of bed. Just do one task. Write a list down of like a task. Just tick one off. Not go run a ultra marathon or go dunk yourself in an ice bath or something like that. Just survive today. That's what some people need, but that don't sell.
No, and do you think it affects the youngsters of today? So the youngsters of today are seeing nothing but influencers saying, up at 5 a.m, successful this, successful that. You've got to do ice baths, you've got to be earning 10 grand a day. So they see all this madness online of these ultra successful people, which is nice to aspire to be like, but also you've got to put it into realistic. A lot of the things that we see online isn't always that true.
And I think it is, like, again, like I've used him before, like I spoke about it before, Liver King, for example. You know what I mean? Like he's
all natural.
He stole that for so long. And he swore by it, and it was obvious for those who probably in the know would know he was geared up like mad. But you imagine like young people, whatever, they're like, oh, I can look like that if I start eating like bollocks and like livers and stuff like that. And I get like, I just think like social media as a whole is so fake. And that puts like a massive pressure on like an expectation of what people should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially as a bloke, if you like, you want to bulk up and it's like, fuck, why don't I look like the Liver King? I'm eating liver, I'm eating testicles. I don't look like him. Well, because he's spending however many £1,000 or $1,000 on gear a month, and it's sort of there's that false expectation that's put onto like men and women that is unreachable realistically, unless there's obviously assistance, like for example, like gear or whatever. If you're trying to be like a certain physique or whatever, that will then put people down because they're like, fuck, I'm trying, but I ain't getting nowhere. What's going on? What am I doing wrong or whatever? And I just think, I think social media is bad for, it's not used in the right way.
No, not at all. And on the lower levels, not just Liver King, who massively lied and fooled loads of people, you know, as you get to say, most of us knew, like, come on, you don't look like that without a bit of gear. But on the lower levels, you'll get local PTs in local areas who are massively on gear, and then they'll sell it in that gym as I'm natural. Or you can look like this if you buy my service, if you let me PT you. And you get that across the board, not just in the UK, around the world.
I think each to their own, mate. Like, if you want to take gear, like,
but
be transparent with it. Be transparent with it. Say, like, I've got this physique because I'm taking this. Whether, don't sell a false expectation. Because again, like, it's just going to set people up for failure.
Massively. And that's
with
the
failure comes sort of dark thoughts potentially for some people, or not feeling good enough. I just think there needs to be more transparency.
Massively, especially not just the fitness industry, but all across social media in general.
With anything,
So coming back to what we were saying about youth and influences online, you do get the flip side of a lot of youth. Obviously, you're glued to your phones now. Kids just given iPads, so they're raised by whatever they see. And we was talking about successful people, gyms, and false expectations. But then we've got this shitty gang culture kind of degeneracy, you know, not just in the UK, and I think that's heavily influenced by what they see online, who they follow, these fake success stories, these shit rappers. How would we tackle that?
I think like more, you were saying a minute ago, lower levels, people who are realistic, people who are happy to be transparent, speaking up, but like being that role model, being that influence. it's something I'm trying to do at the minute.
Yeah.
Like what I mentioned with that fundraiser. I've suffered with my mental health, so I'm trying to be more vocal about it.
Yeah.
In terms of, because I think like we spoke the other week about people's perception of like a commando being this like elite mindset, like you're never going to struggle and this, that and the other. But like I don't, like I'm quite humble with it. Like for me, at the time when I signed up, like Royal Marines was like the elite.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to join. So I wanted to be the best. But so I put Royal Marines on this pedestal because it is like it's the hardest military training to get into.
Yeah.
But once you do it, you like you do humble with it and you're not arrogant with it as such. But I understand that people do put you on a bit of a pedestal because you're this like elite soldier. So I think for people like me, where I've potentially got like a bit of a following or a bit of respect or command from people, like I think more people like that should speak up and go, well, I struggle as well, like things still get to me, like be realistic. And I could be there because I've been an elite soldier. I could be there like Goggins, like going, fucking, I'm up, like I train my arse off, like I'm disciplined with my nutrition and I work hard, like maximum intensity in the gym, and I could be trying to sell that to people, like but that is me specific because of my mindset around the things that I've done. Like, I've been trained to do that, so like push myself through my limits and that on. But I'm understanding that someone who's got like a busy job, multiple kids, like this, like other clubs, this, that and the other going on, they might not be able to commit like I do as a PT to multiple hours a day to go thrash myself. And it's sort of, but if I was like an arsehole influencer, I'd be like, well, you should be finding 3 hours a day to go on an ultra marathon or this, that and the other. There's no excuses. Like there's always time. Like there is always time. But in a realistic manner, what is like Bob, who's got like 3 kids, a full-time job, he's like maybe like a club that he helps run or something like that. Like realistic, what's he going to be able to achieve? I can push him through what he believes are his limits.
Yeah.
But he's not necessarily going to be having 3-4 hours a day to be running 100 miles with Goggins. Like, and it's, you need more people being realistic, going and in positions where they are maybe authoritative or seen as authoritative, like a commando or like, I don't know, like someone like a sportsman, an elite level of personality to kind of go, well, actually, this is what's realistic. And it just becomes, it makes people go, okay, like, that's not saying it's okay to be lazy, but it's like it's okay to just do what you can manage.
A bit more transparency, and kind of you're leveling yourself up so everybody sees these successful people or these people who are doing well financially or physically, but they don't see that these people do have the junk food, they do have the bad days, they do get some debt, they do get some, and I've said it many times on the podcast before, everything we see online is just a highlight of people's lives, you know.
100%.
You know the person personally.
The best parts.
Yeah, and we all know the person personally. Anybody watching this or listening will know somebody who portrays a good relationship, yet their spouse or their partner, and then they know is cheating in that relationship. Everybody knows somebody who's always out of the weekend popping bottles, yet they've got a dead end, low paying, minimum wage job where they're struggling to pay their bills. Yet they portray success online. You know, these are just things that we know personally. So we know what they're portraying is not real. So we should also know that other people are portraying what's not real.
And like again, for me, like I'll speak from my experience. I train hard in the week. I train like a couple of times a day because I've got the time as a PT. But I'll also go, I'll have beers out on a weekend, maybe a takeaway with the kids or whatever.
Nah, Marines don't have beers.
No, like Marines are the fittest alcoholics you'll ever meet. But the drinking culture's savage. But I think from that experience, I know that I can be elite athlete level of fitness and booze multiple times in a week. But I've taken that away. Obviously, I'm not boozing as much as I would have done in the military. But like I know I can train hard, be disciplined with nutrition and that in the week, and still go out and have a beer or whatever, or take the kids to McDonald's and that. I'm not like this personal trainer going, nah, you'll never see me with a McDonald's, you'll never see me drinking. I'm disciplined every single day. I'm on it. I'm up at 4 a.m. ice baths and chicken, broccoli and rice every day, and like I'm transparent to go, I work my arse off in the week training, I'm disciplined with my nutrition, but I'll also go, every now and then I'll go have a heavy one with the lads, or I'll eat my body weight in food with like the kids or my missus or something like that. Just like, do you know what I mean? It's sort of, it's okay to do those things.
I think that's going to be eye-opening for a lot of people watching this
Yeah.
or listening. You're, ex-Marine, ex-commando, PT, somebody pushes someone. You do have your beers, you do have your laybacks, you do have your chills. You are just a normal person like everybody else.
Yeah, but then I think with that, do you not think every other social media person is like that as well? They just choose not to show it.
And and then we come back to the highlights. Yeah,
That's what I mean. So they'll show the best bits, and like you can be whoever you want to be on social media. And I think that's the problem. You can be whoever you want to be. You can lie. You can say. You can show the best bits. You can show the perfect meal. Like, oh, this is me calorie restricting today. I'm having like this perfect meal, as if like the camera stops rolling. They'll have that sneaky donut or whatever. And it's sort of like be transparent. Because that affects people's mental health when they're sold this easy life that's like the perfect life, and it's easy because if I can do it, you can do it. Because you're probably still doing coke at a weekend or like a bit on the beers or whatever. It's like, be transparent with everything you're doing. Make life more normal for people.
Be a crazy life if we lived that, everybody showing off their
I think life's about balance at the end of the day, and like that improves people's mental health, I think.
So reflecting back on that, you've obviously had some low points in life. And a lot of people wouldn't understand it because you're the commando, you're a Marine, what would you say is sort of one of your lowest points in life that people wouldn't assume would come from you?
So with my mental health, like I was extremely. I got to 2017, like it was like the darkest point for me. Like I was like really suicidal, and that sort of stemmed from my little boy was born. So first kid. So me and my wife at the time, we had our little boy Harrison, and when he was 6 weeks old, I deployed away. It wasn't planned. It wasn't it like booked in for the year as a deployment. I think I had my 2 weeks paternity. Went back to work. Had a busy few weeks. I think we were on training exercises or something like that. So I'd only really been around his life for maybe 3 weeks tops, and then I was expecting to be back home. I went back home 1 week. I was like, right, see you next Sunday. Wednesday I was abroad. I was away for like a couple of months, and by the time, whilst you're away on deployments, you, again, like I was saying earlier, you put everything back home aside. You're there, you focus on the task at hand.
You have to,
like you're leading your lads or whatever. Like you can't think I'm a new dad. Like that's got to be pushed right to the back of your mind. And I came back and I couldn't bond with him. There was that, and he couldn't bond with me, and that led to me not being able to bond with him. And I think looking back now, it was simple. I was a stranger. So I think I came back and he was like 3 or 4 months old, and I'd only really seen him when he was a newborn. And to him, I was a complete stranger. In my head at the time, again, it was that normality of like, I was away on a deployment. A few days later, I had my what I left as a newborn, a few month old son going, why is he not crying? Why does he not want to bond with me? Why is he not taking a bottle from me or anything else? And that led me down a sort of a dark, slippery slope. Led to struggles in the marriage and this, that and the other, and I got to a point where I was like, I convinced myself, well, I must be a shit dad then. And because I couldn't separate that work life, I wouldn't even say balance it, the work life difference. Sort of being a soldier and being a dad, there was a massive divide in that I didn't have any training towards. Like I think in the military, you get trained to be this elite soldier. You get trained to deal with like seeing death, seeing injuries, so like potential of taking someone's life, like all these different things. But you don't get trained with things like psychological. Right, this is what might happen if you're a new dad. Like you might struggle.
It's more emotional for you as well than things that you're not attached to.
And it's sort of all of a sudden something was thrown in the mix that I wasn't trained to deal with, and that really, my mind was just like, I'm a bad dad, right? Okay, then I stopped going home at weekends because I was like, fuck, I'm driving all this way home for it to not to be happy. So and I convinced myself again, like they're better off if I just stay away. And it's tough because looking back now, I'm like, well, cool, like that was such a stupid mentality to have, but you can't control the way you feel.
Hindsight's a funny thing.
Once those thoughts are in your mind, you can't snap yourself out of it.
But people assume as a Marine that you would, because you can control everything.
And do you know what I mean? Like my thing was like, right, focus on the task at hand, then push that to one side. And all that does you know what happens when you keep pushing things to one side? It's that pressure.
Yeah.
It then builds up a little bit more, and I'm like, right, keep pushing it to one side, and then all of a sudden you get to a point where it's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Tough.
And, yeah. So, like you're saying there, like you've got this mentality as a commando to kind of go, yeah, I'm mentally strong, I'm mentally resilient. Yeah, I'll bury that. Like I've got all these stresses at home, I'll bury that. Yeah, I feel like I'm a shit dad, but yeah, I'll bury that. Focus on, I'm going to throw myself into work or whatever. Worst thing I could have done is like it was do that. Should have spoke to someone. Should have had, because someone might have gone, well, cool, like your son's, you're a stranger to him.
Yeah.
So someone explained it to me, but my mentality was, I'm a shit dad.
But you can only see
things
things from your level of perspective. So a lot of us go through shit and we can never see it from somebody else's perspective because we're in the shit. But if somebody comes for us for advice, we'll give them great advice.
Yeah.
But when you're in the situation, it's hard to see it from the outside perspective.
Yeah, yeah. And like that just built up for me, and I got to a point where I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. They'd be happier if I wasn't here. That led to like a massive breakdown.
Yeah.
Which I sort of got quite a bit of help with.
Good.
And then things never really got that much better.
Yeah.
It was kind of like once that breakdown had happened, I don't think I got the help I should have done. It was like a massive swallowing of pride moment for me, and I sort of reached out for a bit of help.
Yeah.
Didn't get the help I probably needed, but that to me, I was like, I'm getting up now. This will be it. I'm sorted.
Yeah.
I left, like, fast forward a couple of years, I left the military pretty much straight into, like, unfortunately, like my marriage broke down, but that was just because we just didn't get on with me leaving. And that for me was a massive knock of, I've just left the military to come home and be family man, be dad all the time. That was my justifying thing for leaving my dream job.
Yeah.
I did get to a point in my career where I was sort of, it was either staying forever or leave now. So all roads led to me leaving, but my justification was like, at least I get to see the kids every day.
Yeah.
At least I get to read a story to bed every night or whatever. And then all of a sudden that's taken away as well. So I was having the identity crisis of, fuck, who am I? I'm no longer a soldier, no longer a commando.
Who am I? That's
but
a deep
also
one.
now, I'm not a full-time dad. Like, I'm not seeing my kids every day. I'm not putting them to bed every night.
And that was the plan.
And that was the plan. That was my justification for leaving. It was like, well, fuck, what have I got now? I started the business, and I think that was my saving grace because it gave me a focus at the time. But again, it was just slippery slope, like going down, further downhill, pushing things aside.
I think purpose is big for a lot of men anyway, people in general, men and women. But purpose is massive.
Yeah. As soon as that's taken away, it's because it is the typical. I'm all for masculinity and stuff like that, and like being the bloke and being a leader and being a protector, and stuff like that. And you do need purpose. Like, I'm a dad. I'm a father, I'm a husband, or I'm a partner, or whatever, or I'm a corporal, I'm a section commander with lads in a bit. Like, it's good to have a purpose. As soon as those things get stripped away, you're kind of there like, fuck, what? Who am I? What now? Like, I was lucky at the time I was going through that. I was surrounded by some close people, like a partner, a couple of friends who were really good for me. Sort of helped me out. It didn't sort of it sort of coerce me into getting more help, and that sort of like beginning of this year, I finally sort of, because last year I started taking meds. Again, that for me is, I was so determined to.
What sort of meds? Like antidepressants?
Yeah. Just like help take the edge off, because I got myself into a point where, again, mentally, I think because I'd had that identity crisis, I was like, fuck, I've got no purpose, I've got nothing to lean into. I just got in my head, and I was struggling to function. And it get, like you're saying there, for me as a, I was like, what the fuck's wrong with me? What, like,
again, people are going to have that perception. Even people watching this, they'll be like, what the fuck? How does a commando get on antidepressants?
And that's what I mean. But like, imagine me as well trying to understand that myself. I'm like, fuck, I'm supposed to be really mentally resilient and mentally toughened up to any situation. And I'm like, what is this happening? Why can't
commandos and marines don't take antidepressants? They just get on.
For me, it was like, I can't deal with normal life. I can't deal with life outside the military. Like, what do I, like, how does this work? Like, who do I be now? Like, I'm not commanding men anymore. I'm not running around with weapons or in high adrenaline situations. Like, I can't deal with normal life. I've been trained for this. And it was that identity crisis of like, fuck, like, I can't deal with this. Started taking meds, got a little bit better, but that for me, I was sort of like, oh, this will solve everything. I was so wrong. And then later down the line, I had 2 mates that I served with commit suicide within a month of each other. One of them I carried at his funeral at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And at the time, I'd already lost a few people I'd served with, not that close with, but I'd served with them. And like my mate Ben, who I carried at his funeral, I remember sitting at the pub with like the lads, like the pallbearers, and we were going, oh, fucking hell, it's almost like who's next? And almost desensitised to that thing. It's like, right, is this how life's going to be as veterans? We're just going to still just constantly be hearing one of our mates has killed himself, and we were like, fuck, like it is who's next. 3 weeks later, another mate put his suicide note on Facebook, and that again, within a month of each other, 2 lads gone. And that sparked me to kind of go, right, I want to get proper help now.
Is that your spark to say I want to live, sort of thing? Yeah,
and I think it was like I sort of battled and struggled with my depression for a long time. And again, that soldier in me was kind of going, I'm going to battle this myself. I'm going to battle this alone. I'm going to get through this.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's not necessarily a soldier thing. It's that as a bloke, you talk to bottle things up or crack on or man up, and you got that. There's that stigma around it, and I know people
be masculine.
I know people go, oh, like we're trying to break the stigma, but it's still a stigma around it. And yeah, I was like, I need to do this alone. And I think carrying my mate Ben at his funeral was like a big eye opener for me, because like me and all the lads, we were like, we're being strong on the day. We're doing him and his family proud. We're gonna like take him in smart. But carrying him, I was like, fuck, like this is the repercussion.
That's a surreal
not
moment.
Getting help. And I was like, I don't want anyone to ever carry me at my funeral unless it's because I'm dying, because I'm old. Never because I've taken my own life too soon.
Do you ever hear the saying that when you commit suicide, the pain doesn't disappear, it just passes to the next person?
Yeah. And I'll get it. And the thing is, I think I've got that unique insight because I've been to that place. I'll get it. It's
so you also carried your friends who took their own lives as well.
Yeah, and it's
and then horrific. You felt their pain.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I sort of see it from his point of view, or their point, whoever kills themselves' point of view. Like at the time, you genuinely think in your head, life is better. Like people would be better off without you.
Yeah.
You think you're doing people a favour, which is it's fucking wrong by all levels. But you can't control those impulses or feelings. You generally think in your head, like I did. I was like, I am a bad dad. I'm a bad husband. Like they'd be better off without me.
Yeah.
But then I've seen it on the other side now of the pain that does get passed on. It's like fucking hell, you had so much like, and even like at a funeral, you see how many people turn up. All the people saying all the happy memories and this, that, and then like fucking hell, you had so much to give. And if only they'd reached out.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Like with this fundraiser we're doing, you see so many companies and charities go, it's okay to talk, but it's falling on deaf ears. If someone don't want to talk, like the last thing they want to hear is, oh, it's okay to talk, mate. You need like a direct, like, nah, we're talking. Come on, mate, I know you're struggling, we're talking.
Yeah, you also at the flip side, and I've said it many times before. Years ago, when I used to talk about mental health, I was like, yeah, talk to people.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of in the reserve mindset as talk to the right people. Because most people don't give a shit. Yeah. There's a lot of people in your workplace. So say I turn up to work and I talk to everybody about my mental health. Yeah. Everybody I'm sad. Everybody I'm struggling. I then become the person they avoid because I'm bringing everybody else down. Oh, have you heard from Fatz today? He's not bringing me down. Oh, try and avoid him. He's not a ball ache.
Yeah.
So I think for people suffering and going through shit, talk to your brother, your mother, your sister, your best friend that you've known for years, somebody you really trust, a special service, be selective and talk to somebody that is, will listen and it is confident and is something that you can really express yourself for. Because a lot of the times we're talking to random people every day and it just becomes depressive for them and then they avoid us as well, which just sucks.
Thing is with that, mate, it's by no fault of their own though.
Yeah.
Some people, especially as soon as, I don't know, you go up to someone and go, look, I'm feeling a bit suicidal, I don't want to be here. A lot of people, it's kind of like a heavy thing for someone to finally hear. And like, it's no fault of their own if they don't know how to deal with that. Yeah. They're not necessarily trained in it. They're not necessarily going to be that empathetic necessarily. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, they might not know the answers there. Yeah. And like you're saying there, like talk to the right people, talk to your family members and stuff like that. But sometimes family members still might not know the answer.
Yeah.
Like some might be really good for you. Your best friend who's there solidly by your side, he's still not, or she might not have the answer still. But like the last thing you said, go to a service. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to reach out to a suicide charity or a mental health charity.
Even if you have to ring Samaritans or something.
Yeah, mate, because it's their job to know what to say.
Yeah.
It's their job to know what to do in that situation. And like so many people go, oh, it's defeat. Like, it's not defeat. It's winning. Like, the moment you pick up that phone and reach out, there's so, like, I know for experience as well. Like, I thought, fuck, like, it's nerve-wracking reaching out. Is that me accepting defeat as a bloke, as an ex-veteran, like, as a veteran or whatever? Like, but the help I'm getting now, it's like people know the answers. People know how to draw the answers out of you. People know where to guide you. And it's like, fucking hell, why didn't I do this years ago? And it's like, there needs to be like a more, it's okay to talk to the right people. Like, it's okay to reach out to a charity. You're not a burden to them.
Yeah.
Like, that you're not wasting their time. Like, it's their job. They've chosen to do that job. Like what you do for a living, what I do. I've chosen to be a PT.
Yeah.
Like, they've chosen to be at the end of the phone to help people if they're feeling suicidal or struggling with their mental health. Fucking use them. Put them to work. If you're feeling shit, just pick up the phone. It's a chat away from potentially changing your life around. So yeah, like you're saying there, reach out to the right people, but don't feel that's got to be your brother, your best mate, your family member, because don't knock them if they don't have the answers or they don't necessarily know how to deal with it. Go straight to someone who does.
So we're talking about a lot of this manliness and depression and mental health. What's your views on people's perspective of masculinity nowadays?
I think it's something that gets knocked a lot.
Yeah.
So it's all like, toxic masculinity and stuff like that. It's almost like you're not allowed to be masculine.
Yeah.
It's that, if there's that stigma, if you're like ultra masculine, you're far right.
Yeah.
And I think it's not. Like, masculine ain't necessarily being a person who gobs off or goes out scrapping or is the biggest personality in the room. Like,
that's aggression, yeah.
Yeah, like, but that gets tied in with toxic masculinity, if you know what I mean. And I think from the military, like you're saying there, look, we'll focus on aggression. Like the military I learned, it's like controlled aggression. Yeah. It's like there's a time and place for it if it's controlled. It's done in the right manner. Yeah. So, I mean, whether that's, I don't know, protecting someone. Like, it's not having too many beers and because someone's looked at you a bit dodgy, going out and starting a scrap and being like, I'm an alpha male sort of thing. I think, like, being an alpha male...
egotistical fool.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference between being masculine and having an ego.
The reason I asked that question is because earlier you said 3 statements and one of them was protector. You said 3 things and one of them was protector when you was explaining to yourself about your training in the military and you said protector. And personally for me, I see masculinity as the policemen, the firefighters, the military people, the men who go out there stick up for women, the men who go out there who fight fights that need to be fought, the men who are out there, you know, protecting, serving and raising children. These are masculine men. These are men who built, you know, construction workers. They built society nowadays. And that's not to take away from women. We need women. We need feminine women. We need women. And I would say women, a woman makes a house a home. You know, we need women in society, but this is taken away from men who are protectors, who lovers, who are fighters, who are there. And I think a lot of it's comes down to people are now just twisting it to misogynist or you know far right, but it's not. You know,
like
man
can Tates and this that and it. I think because again, going back to those influencers where people go because he's there going, I'm masculine and stuff like that. It's tied with like a negative thing, but like you're saying there, it isn't just like the uniform services, military or whatever. It might just be the dad who's protecting his family.
Yeah, massively.
Like, I think the stuff like it's okay to be masculine. It's okay to go, well, I'm going to protect my family. I'm going to provide for my family. That's not taking away that the woman might be providing as well. Yeah, the woman might be protecting as well. Like it's okay. Like it's okay to have that where it's almost sort of like, no, you're not allowed to be masculine anymore.
Well, there was an example of it, and it wasn't fully example of masculinity, but it was an example of how broken Britain is. An illegal was exposing himself to children. A father come over from where all these families were, hit the illegal, obviously hurt him. The father was arrested and the father was charged. That's masculinity to me. You're protecting those families, those children from, you know, exposure. That should be celebrated. A man who stuck up for families and children. Yet he was charged, and some people still refer to him as aggressive far right. And you're like, how do people come to that conclusion when a man sticks up for families and children, yet is seen as sort of a bad guy in some people's eyes? And most people would say he's a good guy. He stuck up for people. Great for him. And I agree with most people. But how do people even come to this idea of, oh, misogynist, oh, far right, oh, he's aggressive?
Yeah, I think, again, press, because like they won't say, oh, what the situation was, and he's stuck up for his family, or whether it would be like, oh, racial attack. Or whatever, you know what I mean? Again, that's media.
Yeah.
Again, back to, I think it's a common theme. It's like media, social media, a big issue, and again that gets then tied in with like, oh, toxic masculinity. Someone has just gone and banged out someone for exposing himself, or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, like I can see it from like another side. What I was saying a minute ago, controlled aggression.
Yeah.
Is there better ways of maybe dealing with someone like that? Still using controlled aggression, maybe like detaining someone, like citizens arrest, like is it maybe going and knocking someone out might not be the answer.
Maybe restraining them.
Yeah.
I like the saying, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah, I love that one.
And that saying's really big for me.
Yeah.
Just as the fact that men do need to know some sort of combat. Men do need to be strong. Men do need to be more masculine. And I think it's not about putting off their aggression. It's just knowing that you're ready to protect those around you, help people.
I think men and women as a whole, men and women, mate. Like, I think everyone should have a bit of
oomph.
Yeah, a bit of combat training, like a bit of some sort of self-defense.
I'd say massively for mental health as well.
Yeah.
Biggest thing for me years ago was I had a client and he ran an MMA class, and I would always, back then I was on a load of gear. Just a big guy. I wasn't a healthy guy. I was just a big looking guy. People would be like, okay, no, that's a good body. You asked me to run down the road, I'll be done. So it looked good, but wasn't good. And he always goes to me, Fats, come train. Polish fella, Adam Jabański, lovely fella. And I put it off for a long time. But then when I first got punched in the face, or my first I was petered out within seconds. All these smaller guys twisting me up like nobody's business. But the feeling after getting in a cage, or after being on the mats, or after getting punched by someone, or after, somebody nearly choking me out, you're not fragile. You're not going to break. You're stronger than you think, and the release of all that stress, worry, tension after one of those sessions is astronomical. I cannot explain it. I can't explain it any better than releasing a tap. Everything inside you after a session like that. You sit down with all the people who've just punched you. You sit down with all the people who just beat you, or you've beat them. You shake hands, and it's like a brotherhood. Like you say, it is absolutely freeing. And I think it's one of the best things for anybody's mental health. Men and women, all shapes and sizes, combat sports in any degree.
I think like that again goes in with the controlled aggression sort of thing. Like, you won't, like, anyone who's been to a boxing gym or an MMA gym or whatever, like that, you've got highly trained people down there, or even basically trained people there, but they'll never go necessarily use that. Like, you never go to MMA and then go like, I'm fucking getting the skills now to go scrapping, like street scrapping. Like, 'cause most of them will lose they'll be told, don't come back down the fucking dojo, or don't come down the gym again, or whatever. So they're getting the tools and skills needed to be that masculine. Like, okay, I know I can defend myself in a correct manner, or because you see it again with like lads on nights out trying to be the alpha male. All they've
6
got
years
is
being a doorman.
all they've got is like, so you would have seen those of it. All they've got is probably like one fucking wild haymaker in them, because like they
windmilling in
they're like you're saying about that bloke protecting his kids and stuff. Like, if he's going to bang someone else out, like if like men and women, if you've got a bit of self-defense training, a bit of combat training, you've got skills there. Like, right, if I do need to use something, I know that I've got something in my arsenal. Instead of just one wild haymaker, I know I maybe how to do a couple of wrist locks, or I know how to get out of a choke, or this, that, and the other.
That's why BJJ's so good.
I know how to restrain someone if I need to sort of protect someone or whatever.
I definitely agree with that. And it also comes back to another quote that's those who know how to fight don't go out to fight. And a prime example is geezers at clubs. It's usually not always just young lads, but it's usually young, built-up testosterone lads, got an ego, chip on the shoulder, and they're just scrapping anybody for no reason. And it's usually for some stupid reason. It's unneeded, unnecessary. None of them know how to fight or fight safely. And people like, fight safely. There is definitely fight safely when you know how.
Exactly. And you would have done all that with like your your dormant training and stuff like that. When you're,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people be like, "Oh, Fats, you're too aggressive when you're holding someone or pulling somebody out." No, because there's things that you can do to really hurt people, and there's things that you can do to stop or restrain people.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
sometimes that's going to hurt a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be anywhere near punching the daylights out of somebody.
yeah.
And I think everybody should have some sort of combat sports.
Yeah, and I think that going back to like what we were originally saying, like the toxic masculinity thing, it's not toxic masculinity to want to know how to defend yourself or defend your loved ones or protect people. And I think again, people see it as like, oh, you fucking hell, you're a scrapper or whatever,
Yeah.
like, or you're toxic, like toxic masculinity and this sort of area. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I want to know how to defend myself or people I love or
Exactly, yeah. And by no means am I a skilled fighter or, some trained athlete. I'm definitely not none of that, but I know a little bit about a little bit, and I think everybody
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Every men and women, because if somebody breaks into a household or somebody attacks you on the street or somebody
Yeah.
does something near your children, the man and the woman, the mother and the father should know something.
yeah, it's that confidence, isn't it?
Same with first aid as well.
Yeah, mate, 100% with first aid. Because you never know when you're going to need it.
We're talking about first aid, combat sports,
Mm-hmm.
being prepared. What do you feel like the state of the UK is right now? I feel like we're on the verge of some sort of riots. I hope and pray that nothing does happen or go down that route, but we are peaking in various areas.
Again, that's a slippery slope to go down there.
Yeah,
Very slippery slope conversation. I think with stuff like that, I'll try and stay away from all that shit.
yeah,
Because again, like, I think social media and the news and that is so bad for mental health.
Ooh,
Like, so bad, mate. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't read the papers.
no, same.
And like, I know what's going on in the world. Do you know what I mean? I know what's going on in the UK loosely, but I think for me, it's like how fucking depressed. Like, you never put on the news, and it's like,
What good news?
yeah, they're like this positive stuff's happening or whatever. Or like, I always laugh and joke. I'm like, the news I want to watch. Like, you seen Anchorman? Where
Yeah,
there's like, oh, fucking this squirrel's like jet skiing or whatever. I'm like, do you know what I mean? There's nothing ever like cheerful or positive. It's always
It'd be
like,
great if it got that.
someone's died. This is the world's gone to shit. This fucking war's happening. Like the fucking politics or whatever. And like, you wonder why so many people struggle with depression and stuff like that, because there's no positivity. And like, I've got saying, like, you're a product of your environment.
yeah,
Like, I think that's, I feel like that links with anything really, but like mental health as well. If you've got an unmotivating, depressing environment, you're going to feel sluggish, you're going to feel low. And
Yeah.
I think the news is a big one for that. Like, if
So-
you've got the news on, it's like you're starting your day with a coffee and it's all doom and gloom, and you're there like, fucking hell, there's nothing positive starting the day
No.
here. So, with like the state of affairs of the UK and this, that, and the other, I try and just go, it's.
But from your military background, do you think that some people are talking about civil war? Do you think we're ever even close to that at the moment?
Nah.
No, just all propaganda kind of
I
people.
think I think it's sort of, it's the news playing on the far left, far right.
Yeah.
I think there's so much more in between that.
It's a lot easier to control the whole nation if we can get the nation to battle each other.
Yeah, but and again, I think it goes back to what we were saying about social media influencers. They show what they want to show,
Yeah,
and I think like in the news, they're showing the far right kicking off, they're showing the far left kicking off.
yeah,
They're probably very, very small minorities, but media make them seem like massive majorities, where there's so many people in the middle. It's like you're saying there, it seems like a civil war is probably going to kick off.
Yeah.
It won't.
yeah.
Because there's so much in between where people holding the fort of normal day lives and just cracking on as usual, keeping the UK running, keeping the world running as normal, whilst all these fucking other idiots are going at each other. So you've got the average people going to work, still making the world go round. Do you know what I mean?
What about another military type one, just to get people, because it's big at the moment? Are we under threat of nuclear attack in the UK?
Again, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where I've got probably quite like a cynical view on it.
Yeah,
If we did get like, you ain't gonna know about it, are you?
I hope not. But
Yeah.
if it was to hit London, would we be all right on the south coast, or is it done?
I don't know, mate. Depends.
Yeah, because I always talk to my friend, and he was in the Navy. He was in the Navy for years, and again, it comes back to the brotherhood, and he loved everything he did. He's out now.
Yeah.
One of the pictures he showed me, he was a submariner.
Yeah.
And they pulled up in the middle of the ocean, had a barbecue on deck.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, how nobody experiences that, and the stuff that you probably experienced is like that as well.
Yeah.
But I always refer back to him. I was like, every now and again, I haven't spoken to him in a while, but every now and again, I drop him a message, be like, so, bro, are we going to be attacked next week, or the Russians
Yeah,
coming? And
yeah.
he's like, no, we're fine, don't worry about it.
The thing is though, if something was going to happen, it would have happened by now. And
Yeah.
I think it's what's the saying? There's another saying. It's like young lads fight old men wars.
Yeah.
Old man wars or something like that along those lines. And it's just sort of like you've got all these like leaders swinging their dicks about, and it's sort of like it's all. I hope it's all empty threats.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like, who's got the biggest dick? Oh, I've got this nuclear weapon. Oh, well, so have we. And it's sort of like, well, I could push the button. Like, and it's that scaremongering thing. I think let's go for current affairs. Russia, Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like that's been going on, what, 4 or 5 years now?
It's long,
maybe,
yeah.
like long time. And neither of like Russia have not done as well as they thought they would. It's sort of like they've been pushed back a lot. They've been on the back foot a lot. I think you say like, oh, people go, oh, is there going to be a nuclear attack? I think he would have pushed the button. If he was going to do it, he would have done it. But
Yeah.
I think it is just a scaremongering thing. I don't think anyone would be that stupid to ever do it because of the repercussions of if they were to do it. Everyone's going to then start jumping in, swinging, I think. But yeah, it's hard to know.
Beautiful. So just wrapping up, can you let us know, one, your advice for somebody who might be going through mental health issues? What would be your biggest advice for them?
So like self-help you can do is like just like nail your basics down. And we spoke about this recently, didn't we? Like nailing the basics is game changing if you're struggling. So whether that is like a solid morning routine, like repetition, like get up, make your bed, drink a glass of water, but like have like a set routine in the morning to start your day right. Because if you start your day shit, the rest of the day is going to be, it's like start as you mean to go on.
Yeah.
If you have like a solid routine and habits, like from building that turns into discipline. And what happens when you in a high amount of stress, in times of like high pressure, high stress, you always revert back to your basics.
Yeah.
So if you've built like a solid routine there, solid habits, solid discipline, when you are in the shit, you know you're still gonna get up, you're still gonna drink that glass of water, you're still maybe gonna have like an half decent breakfast.
Yeah.
You're gonna at least get out of bed and make it like instead of just slouching around all day or whatever. So that'd be one. Self-help, just have like a solid routine, like make it simple. Don't go out fucking running ultra marathons or Goggins or whatever. Like make it simple, make it easy enough to repeat every single day, that in times of high stress you can your body will naturally revert back to it. So you know you're at least going to function as a human being. Write things down, mate. It's like old school, but like I write tasks down like every day. I know what I've got to do, but it'll be like go to the gym, do this for work. Like I'll have like my set tasks of what I want to achieve for work for the day. Because when you get that brain fog, when you then do start struggling, you've set yourself up, you've pre-planned like a list of going. Because again, I speak from experience. I've sat there and gone, what the fuck do I need to do? I don't know what I need to do. I don't know what I need to like achieve today. And then like Darren of the past has written a list for me already.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right. And it's so motivating. If you can tick one thing off, you go, fuck, I've achieved something today off my list. Yeah. And so write lists, it's old school, but write them down, because you've got a clear plan there of what you need to achieve. And if you can achieve one, you've won for the day. Yeah. And then my last one, just it's not weak, it's not masculine, it's not anything to reach out for help. Right, whether that's telling a friend how you're feeling, or if again, a lot of people don't want to save face in front of their friends and family. So talk to someone whose job it is to guide you. Yeah. Like pick up the phone. There's so many charities now. Samaritans, Calm, all like what's it, Mind. Yeah. All of these charities where they will answer the phone immediately and go, right, we're here to help. We'll talk you out. We'll book you in, and that could be the difference between you getting into a point where you want to end your own life or don't feel like going on, or suddenly getting that bit of light to carry on. Yeah. So yeah, set solid habits, solid routines, because that builds discipline. Write down your tasks. Yeah. Tick them off because it's motivating, and get the right help.
Nice. That's good, solid advice. Also, your merchandise. Yeah. This hat, I haven't taken this hat off, to be fair. It's a lovely hat, to be fair. I needed to get a new hat. When I got this, I was like, that's perfect. Yeah. You probably see some of my motivational videos, and I've got the hat on. I'm like, that's nice, and it's all stitched. And I'm like, well happy with my hat.
Yeah.
But it's a good solid brand as well.
Yeah,
you know, Spearhead is a strong, masculine name.
Yeah, yeah, and again, I think with that, I wanted something, and we spoke about this before. I wanted something loosely commando based, Spearhead force of the UK, but something that people could adapt into whatever they wanted. So I thought, like, again, physical, mental, Spearhead, the definition of that, taking the lead. So it's like, right, take the lead in your fitness journey, take the lead in your mental health, take the lead in your family, take the lead in like being a protector, take the lead in like being a leader. Like
it's solid, and the brand stands for something as well. It's not just another fancy brand. It's
So like, I think that's like, it was the ethos and values behind the brand that I really wanted something to be punchy, and obviously Spearhead was born. So
nice. And where can people get it?
Spearheadfitness.co.uk.
Lovely, and you got all the merchandise in there.
Yeah, got it all up there. Yeah, so I've got merchandise, coaching, boot camps if you're local in Bexhill or East Sussex.
Beautiful.
Any sort of mental health advice, and like, I'll gob off on my social media. I'm a realistic. I'm not the wake up at 4 with an ice bath and then run an ultra marathon. I'll speak honestly about my struggles, where to get help, fundraisers coming up, this, that and the other.
Love that.
So yeah, big fundraiser coming up, if I can plug that.
Yeah.
September 27th. Myself and Fozzie, who carried our mate Ben in his coffin at the beginning of the year, we're flipping a 110 kilo tractor tyre continuously for 24 hours. So we're doing that for Calm.
Yeah.
So we're raising money for them. So come follow me on social media, watch the journey. We're training for it at the minute, which I don't think is going to necessarily help. Flipping a tractor tyre for 24 hours is going to be a stinking task, but we're doing it as a visual representation of like a big fucking heavy load, heavy burden. If I was to do it on my own, probably impossible. To do it with a friend, that bit easier. To do it with maybe someone else coming and helping at various points in the day, like that burden becomes lesser. So if you take anything from that journey and the fundraiser we're doing, it's a visual representation of like doing something on your own, mental health wise, is going to be impossible. You can't do it on your own. You need to get someone there to give you a hand.
The Coach Carter scene just come into my head when that guy walked back in the gym and he said, "You've got to give me 1,000 of these, 1,000 of those, 1,000 of those." And then the team stepped up and said, "I'll do some of those for him. I'll do some of those, coach." And breaks down.
Problem shared is a problem halved.
Love that. And then just the last part, where can they catch you on socials?
Spearhead Fitness UK on Instagram and Facebook.
Nice. Cool. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Cheers.
Hey guys, we're up. Peace.